Do you guys do this with other guests?
No. Not this specific guy.
Take it by the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
I'm Hector.
And how are you, buddy?
I don't know.
Did I throw you off there because I didn't clap?
No, I was going to tell you I wasn't gay, but then I figured it wasn't appropriate.
The amount you've been talking about it lately.
I just wanted to put it out there because we were in bed together last week, and I need to let everybody know that we're not gay.
Then how come you feel
Perhaps.
Why is it so important to you that they know your stuff?
No, I don't care. I just couldn't think of anything to say. So
Okay.
when I can't think of anything, my default is gay.
Jeez. Okay then. Let's change the subject.
Okay then.
What have we been?
Why
up
is
to?
it making you nervous to talk about gay?
More and more so as this goes on. What's been going on recently? This weekend I played with a reggae band. That was pretty fun.
You did on Saturday.
Yeah, Stony Falls.
Yeah, you guys opened for Collie Buds or something.
Yeah, it was wild.
That was at Abacoa.
Yeah,
How was that?
It was amazing, dude. I've never played keyboard in a band before, so
That's right. You did play keyboard. I know you played sax, but I forgot you played keyboard too.
Yeah. I was playing like clav and stuff. It was really sick.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun. And I've actually sort of seen the band from a keyboard player's perspective, and I have to say, they've got it figured out, man. Because the band already sounds good without a keyboard player,
Right. So
you can just sort of add to it.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Little something here and there.
Yeah. No,
And
I had fun.
Thursday we were at Prop.
Yeah,
Played with Bombi Algorithm.
that's right. Yeah, that was good too.
And Friday we finished filming the Kill Billy's video.
We did finish filming the Kill Billy's video.
Finally.
Yeah, that's going to be good as well. Eli's a cool guy. He made my guitar. I'm going to put a picture of my new guitar up now. He made that cool guitar. And he also is a filmmaker. He did all the stuff for the 561 Music Festival.
Sorry, your little now just reminded me of Kenny's comment last week when you were interviewing him.
Oh, yeah.
You said something about a picture of Kenny now, and he goes, "It's like magic. You know exactly when the picture is going to pop up."
I know. Bless him. Bless his heart. Kenny, you're many things, but astute about recording videos you are not.
Nope. Nope. We still love you though.
All right. So, we have Shannon and Joey from Thread Count with us today. How's it going?
How's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
So you guys do a podcast as well, which I'm not going to lie to you is making me nervous because you're just obviously going to be better at this than us.
I don't think so. You should. Have you seen ours? Have you
I
seen
just
a little
saw. I
bit?
have seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. It's great.
It's an interesting podcast. We're still figuring out.
Pretty much trick people into getting into the bed, and then it's all over. They can't even stop us. They can't even stop us.
No, it's great, and
That's actually genius.
no, for real. What's the? So do you have everything set up for it like all the time, kind of thing?
Sort of. So I have like a bunch of audio gear around in a Pro Tools setup in our guest bedroom. So I pretty much just run, since our house is pretty small, I just run cables from one room into our bedroom. So we just use wired XLR.
Right.
And then we just use one camera shot, and we'll do cuts for clips and stuff, but like the whole podcast is just one shot.
Yeah.
And then a song at the end, and we started off just like the song was an accident for the first episode with a guest because we did it by ourselves, and we're like, who's gonna listen to us just talking about like picking our stuff and picking, what? So,
Kicking butts.
Yeah. So all right. Well, let's. You brought up having all the audio gear and stuff like that. So this is a good opportunity to kind of like take it back to your early days and stuff. And how did you get into
music
media,
and sound.
music and stuff? Yeah.
I'm gonna need a drink for this. You know what I'm saying?
Zippy. Yeah. So we went to the same elementary and middle school together.
Oh, nice.
And so Joey was always a musician.
I was a
as well.
teacher. She was at the elementary. No.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He was my music teacher.
I shouldn't have.
I used to. I was obsessed with my music teacher when I was growing up,
Same.
Mrs. Pengelly. Damn.
Oh man.
I
was
was
problematic.
My music teacher was some like middle-aged 400-pound guy. I was definitely not obsessed,
Okay.
definitely not obsessed with
I
him.
think you were obsessed with him. You keep talking about gays.
Potentially,
songs.
I was obsessed.
I
with
think
him.
that's where you started your love
100%. I think
of
you-
men.
I
actually
hated
think
one of my
you're great.
music teachers, but okay. So basically, I grew up, I played like percussion, whenever you could pick an instrument. And what am I talking about? That was like 4th grade, which I heard you say in another podcast. Is grades a thing in Britain?
Grades?
I'm gonna say a lot of dumb shit.
There are some. No, it's all good, mate. It's what we're here for, really.
Yeah.
Just
Grade
dumb shit.
sort of is a thing, but it's not the same. It's not the way we do it is just not the same.
You just keep them in the grade until they're smart enough, and then send them off.
Well, I think
Age doesn't
the
matter.
times you get to like the times you leave one school and go to another, and all this kind of things are different.
Yeah.
But and so when people say like year 5, I'm never 100% sure what that means. Hey, how do you guys say it again?
What did I say?
1st grade.
4th grade.
4th grade.
4th grade.
Yeah.
4th grade, which
Elementary
you'd be
school.
like maybe about 8 or 9 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and that was the end of elementary school,
Okay.
right?
So-
like primary school or
Yeah,
whatever.
because we leave when ours goes from like 4 or 5 to 11, and then if you go, depending on what type of school you go to, then you go somewhere from 11 to 16, and then somewhere from 16 to 18. But sometimes, if you go to like a fancy school, you got to pay money to go to. Then you stay at the elementary school till you're 13, and then you stay at the next one from 13 to 18.
yeah,
So it's
like
just
you're
But
middle
see,
and elementary versus
even
high school.
in the U.S., though, it's a little bit different from place to place. Like you guys grew up north,
yeah,
and you're
so
saying you went to 4th grade, and then 5th grade started middle school.
fifth
Yeah.
grade started.
And for us, it's not like that. For us, it's through 5th grade, and 6th, 7th, and 8th is middle school.
yeah,
And then high
Which I
school is
never
9th through
understood.
12th. Yeah.
because like you start to learn about sex when you're in 5th grade.
Second-
you can't have a
second
5th
grade?
grader
What?
on the bus with the kindergartners. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like that's worse than the 5th graders and the 8th graders.
That's a very good point.
So I started playing percussion. And my dad was a drummer and played in bands growing up. He had a family, then was like, I can't do my dreams anymore,
Oh, that's
So he like passed on the love for music to like me and my siblings. And then I like picked up other instruments later in high school. I started playing guitar and I always played in bands. Early on, it was like heavy metal stuff.
right. Yeah.
Like obviously like Blink 182 was like, I was obsessed with them as a kid and really
Sure.
obsessed with Travis Barker. So that, it was a big influence. Then learned guitar and got into like hippie music and indie music in high school and
Right,
became,
right.
a
Yeah.
hippie dippy boy.
So did you do the jam band type stuff as well?
Not so much, a little bit in college. I was really into that in college. And then there was just like, there's a cap to the jam band possibilities. You
It
know what
never
I mean?
gets better than
in
the
a
Grateful
certain
Dead.
way where it's just like, you can just go this route and be a festival jam band and sweat your boobs off and
Yeah.
don't sing a song. But
I
mean,
to think
I like
about
jam bands.
I have to think about them. I think I don't like them, but then I'll go and see one. I'll
They're
be like,
great,
"Oh,
yeah.
I actually quite
I've
like
seen
it."
a lot, and we're big Deadheads, and both our dads were. Then Shannon was in like musicals and stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think like when it comes to jam bands, like it's like they're good musicians.
Yeah.
Like the people in jam bands
For sure.
are good musicians, but sometimes it's just like I've heard the same
Well, that's the thing.
kind
and
of like
something that I would
jammy
say
vibe.
about that is that there's this sort of idea that bands, unless you're talking about really far out there, really free jazz, there's this idea that like bands like that are jamming, just making it up on the spot. But the truth is, there's a pretty small like dictionary of stuff that you can say in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not necessarily just making stuff up on the spot. You're just taking one of 4 paths you could take.
You got to be more
moment.
creative with it. Like John Mayer playing with Dead and Co. Like he does it in a different way, so it's new.
Nice.
But they're eventually going to reach a time when it's just like it's been done so many times.
That's
But
cool. I didn't know that John Mayer was kind of pushing.
He's been with like playing Dead music for years now.
Yeah,
Oh,
about 10
cool.
years or so. Yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
skinnier and scrawnier. He looks like he's all fucked.
He's a good guitarist.
Yeah.
There was a type of person that used to love John Mayer when I was younger, which made me not want to love John Mayer. But then I was a very opinionated and elitist young man. Anyway, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so people have played me some of his stuff recently, and I'm like, all right, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty good.
smooth.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Makes the ladies sweat.
So we. Whoa! I was about to make like a sound effect. Then I'm so glad I didn't do that.
Splash.
Yeah.
The look on your face, I thought you got wet for a second. You were like,
I've been burping into this mic silently this whole time. So if these mics are good, you're going to hear some air. You know what I mean?
So where did we get up to? We got up to.
So Joey did a band
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah,
Okay.
then played punk bands, screamo bands, pop punk bands, indie bands. Like college was like more of jam band era.
Right.
Out of college, I didn't do shit for like 10 years.
Really?
And I just was like a sad boy working corporate audiovisual.
Gotcha.
And we moved here right after college. So that was 2015 when we graduated. She was a semester behind. So I came down here, was working at like Pet Supplies Plus and working an AV job and just like eating shit for a long time. And then eventually during COVID, we had a lot more time on our hands. She ended up starting comedy. I tried comedy, sucked really bad, and then was like, why don't I do music if I have time again to do stuff? And
Yeah.
then that was, like 5 or 6 years ago now.
I've got to say that
What?
time, COVID,
I'm losing
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
obviously
Damn.
there was loads of stuff
2022.
that was bad about
So what your
COVID,
bio
but
says.
it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
changed everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we
Like-
got really big in the plant game.
Really?
So like fruit trees and gardening and stuff. So like we live in downtown Lake Worth. We have like a quarter of an acre lot.
Nice.
pretty big for
and
Lake Worth.
We
it's
built
good.
our whole yard into what's called like a food forest.
Sure, yeah, that's cool.
And so it's got like we've got mangoes and avocados and bananas and oranges. And then we have like fruits that you've like never really heard of, like peanut butter fruit,
Yeah.
jaboticaba or habiticaba, whatever, if you're a Brazilian or
Soursop.
we have soursop. We have like all of these like fruits that are like either Central or South American or
Nice.
some Asian fruits
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are
that's
all like
awesome.
tropical.
Well, that's one of the great things about Florida is you can grow anything down here. You know, it's like the weather's great for it. Apart from, which is kind of ironic, oranges not so much because all the bugs get them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of issues with pests and monoculture growing. So
Yeah.
Totally. I love all that. Christy and I have got big plans for our garden. We've got a few fruit trees, but we want to do the same thing. Just turn it into like a bit of a farm situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started a business where we had a spot at the Green Market in downtown West Palm, like right on the Ave and Clematis, and then it just wasn't lucrative. Like the honey guy next to us was like making thousands. He's like, "Hey man, my credit card machine is doing too good. It's not working. Can I use yours?"
Oh.
And he's like banking money, and we're like not selling shit, and we're like, we need to not do this because anything we would sell, we'd take that money and go buy like a brisket sandwich
Yeah.
from like that one smokehouse place.
At
Drop
the,
it.
at the Green Market? Oh, that's so good.
It's so good, dude. Oh.
And is it the honey guy? And he has, I think I know the honey guy.
Yeah, he's really friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Successful.
I
Great
bought something
salesman.
off him. So there you go.
great salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave us a big jar of honey though for using our credit card machine, so we still have it, still eating it. It's huge.
Those are the worst business ventures though. Like I had I went through a period, I'm an artist, and so I went through a period when I was doing all the art fairs and, you know, setting up a booth and setting up. And that's the worst when you're right next to somebody and there's people coming and going and they're just banking.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe can I sell like one print today?
People
Like,
just
that would
want
be
to talk to
amazing.
you. They just want to
I
talk.
just want human interaction, man.
Yeah. So we have enough fruit trees now, and like they're almost getting to the fully productive stages where we'll have a lot of fruit soon to sell. But it's like we don't have time between her doing comedy and me doing music, and then our like day jobs. It's just like,
Do you have any fruit trees that I could buy off you?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Definitely.
We got a
All
bunch of
sorts like,
stuff, yeah.
mangoes and soursop.
That's cool, mate.
We grow
If-
things like
if
finger
I
lime.
actually followed through with that and bought some fruit trees off you, my wife would be so happy. So I
Yeah.
should probably-
yeah, that's sick.
Happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, that's what that means.
I wonder.
So, all right, then that's sort of caught us up, isn't it? It's COVID, and now you do the podcast. But
Yeah.
what I would like to get into a little bit before that is how did stand-up comedy become a thing? And let's start there, and then I also want to find out why you think you suck at it, because I'm curious.
Yeah.
There's been some instances.
Yeah. So I grew up doing like acting and theater and singing and kind of like that sort of thing. And then kind of once I got into high school, I was like, I'm too cool for this. Like,
Right,
and just kind of like was like, I'm not good enough for the arts, kind of drifted away. And then we just started watching a lot of like stand-up comedy, and we started watching the Kill Tony podcast where people go up and they do like a minute of comedy. And there were all these like amateurs and stuff, and it was like, oh, how cool would this be if we ever went and like did this? Like, we like to watch this podcast. So like we started writing like jokes that we had. And then a friend of ours locally was like, hey, come out to this open mic. Like, I'm going to do this open mic, whatever. So we went out, we watched. We're like, all right, we could try this out.
We could do this.
And then the next week, like, we went back and we tried it out. And then Joey
Shannon was good from the start. Shannon like went up, and like people that have been doing it for so long were like, "Oh wow, you're really good," and blah blah blah. And then they'd be like, go past me, and then they'd see me in the bathroom. They'd be like,
Joey's what someone would call maybe a comics comic. That maybe if you don't get it, you don't get it.
So I'm really into sketch comedy. I grew up with like really liking The Whitest Kids You Know, if you've ever seen that show, or like Monty Python and stuff like that. My dad would show me, and I was always into like Blink-182 or
David
like
Byrne,
poopy pee bands, where just like silly shit all the time. Jackass, I loved as a kid. Yeah. Why am I talking about this again? Oh, comedy. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
That's why he's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Justin does quite a lot of stand-up comedy. The guy who's currently recording is in there. He's good. He's funny.
Yeah.
And I have pretensions for it, but I just gotta. I don't have any time. I need to spend some serious time figuring it out. Than writing jokes and getting a little set together. I just don't have the time.
It is a
You've got the
huge
voice
commitment.
for it, dude. People love the different
accents.
comedy, the accent.
We should have Justin come in here and do a comedy battle with you guys.
Justin.
Oh my God, have Justin come in and we'll do a roast.
A roast. Oh my God.
It's like no. He's like no.
Comedy is like it's a big hustle game too.
Yeah.
I think from like the outside, like when we first started doing it, we were kind of just like, this is fun. And then like once we started, we learned there were like all these people who were like super serious and who like had all these opportunities and stuff, and like how small the comedy world really is.
Sure.
Okay.
In the sense that like a lot of local people have the opportunities to like open up for these huge people or meet these huge people and whatever. And just people take it really seriously. You dedicate a lot of time. You're out like 3-4 nights a week doing it not paid, and then you're maybe paid 1 to 3 nights a week or something, so it's like it's a big grind, and like sometimes you're hitting like mic after mic after mic to work out these jokes. You're writing them at home, you're thinking of them, then you kind of have to be good at the crowd work thing now, and so there's like all these different kind of aspects to it.
No, totally.
So,
and
like,
I know quite a lot about that side of it just from different podcasts that I listen to and stuff, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm like, I just almost, maybe I will get up just and try it a couple of times, but I respect it as an art form.
Does it feel
I just like it. I like hearing about it more than I think I would like to.
Does it feel like the local comedy scene? Like, does it feel to you like it's like cutthroat in a way? I mean, like people are just out for themselves and they're like, leave me alone. And
definitely be that way to a degree, because it's like when you think about it, stand-up comedy is like a solo game. It's one person on stage.
Sure.
But, a lot of times it's like a stand-up comedy show where it's like a group of comics, and it's like you want everyone to do well realistically for the show to go well, especially like I produce shows, like, so I put them together. I host them sometimes, or
where do you do that?
A bunch of different places. So I do once a month, I do Prosperity Brewers.
Okay, cool.
So I do a free show there. Once a month I do Barrel of Monks with Ryan Panucci from Zoo Peculiar, who you guys have had on.
Really? That's interesting.
And then I also
he lives under our bed.
I could totally see him.
He's a funny dude, man.
Little fucker fits under my bed.
And me and Ryan, we actually do a few things together. So we produce that Barrel of Monks once a month. We produce one at this Legends and Plantation. They're changing the name actually to the Hideaway.
Right. Better name.
And yeah, definitely. And then Me and Ryan do the spelling buzz. We do this like adult spelling bee drinking game thing.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Oh, cool.
So we do that like one Wednesday at Prosperity and one Wednesday at Revelry down in Pompano.
Gotcha.
And then I also produce a couple shows that are like an improvised stand-up comedy.
Okay.
So it's like the audience submits suggestions. They go into this like PowerPoint type of thing on a screen, and you have to just riff on the topic. So I call that riff roulette.
Yeah.
And we do that once a month in Fort Lauderdale and once a month in West Palm.
That's
So
got
I
to be
think-
really good
that's-
for your writing jokes and your act in general. Just,
Yeah,
That's
because it's all like the natural stuff, which is sometimes hard. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes that's like that puts you in a challenging position to think.
I love I love all sorts of comedy, but I love like that improv kind of stuff more
Yeah.
than anything. Like, it's
Stand-up.
cliche, but like whose line is it? Avenue Oasis.
Oh
One of my
yeah.
absolute favorite shows. I just love watching those guys come up with stuff. Like
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I watched that all the time.
Such a good show.
And that was like kind of the idea is like those improv things are like so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it engages the crowd, and that's what like kind of everyone wants right now.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to do like I had done like some improv types of shows where it's like topics in a bucket or whatever kind of deal or shout out.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, how could I make this so that it's like it's anonymous? Maybe I could have some visual component. And so I just kind of started like brainstorming ideas of how to create it, and then launched that in September of last year. Actually, I haven't even been doing that a full year, but I've done about like 10 of them at the Sad Man Comedy Cafe down in Boca.
Right.
I did the Miami Improv with it.
Not to be confused with the Sandman Sleeps Comedy Cafe.
Yeah. We always mess that up. And then also at like Bodega in West Palm
Yep.
Yeah.
and Philomena's in Fort Lauderdale. So this comes out.
Cool. Keep them busy. That's awesome.
Yeah, this comes out Friday.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
So next week, Wednesday, I have the spelling buzz. Thursday, I have my riff at Bodega. Friday, I have legends. And Saturday,
cool.
I have riff and
I'm going to come to one of those.
Yeah.
You'll see me next week.
Yeah.
Wandering around. I'm
They're fun. They're
very
fun.
curious.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's just that whole world is, I don't know. It's just very inspiring to me. Very creative. It's a muscle that I have barely used, and I just have a lot of admiration for it. I really do.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. I would be the guy that like you give me like a quick line improv something, and then I'm like, okay, so what's my character's motivation and what's my background, and none of which matters at this point. That would be me.
There is a big crossover between like the appreciation of like music and comedy.
Yeah.
Like I noticed there's like a lot of like
Usually-
musicians love comedy and vice versa.
vice versa.
So
No, totally. And not everyone can do both either. There's a lot of people can do one or the other.
It's very hard. I felt like if I focused and put time into comedy, I couldn't at all for music, because it's like you need to be out doing it. And we only have so much time as we get older.
Yeah, so I'm
The older you get, the less time you get. Then you're just an old guy and you can't even do anything, and you're just
How wild is it?
fucking
that-
drying up.
I don't know how old you are. I'm 45, and what I've noticed as I got older is exactly that. It's just like the hours just seem to be shrinking.
Yeah.
I'm just running around from pillar to post.
Yeah.
I'm like,
An
do
hour
anything.
will go by like that.
Yeah.
And I'll jerk off time. No, just kidding. Just
You
kidding.
never sacrifice.
and that's when I'm out at the open mics.
Yeah.
that.
That's when he gets to play.
Well, that's funny. I'd love to see you perform. I'm going to come and see you perform
Yeah,
soon.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely come out.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun, and pretty much then this led into like so Joey was doing all the music. He played with Lindsay Mills for a while,
yeah.
and then he's been playing with Sandman, and
Yeah, let's stop on that one. Sandman Sleeps,
Mhm.
a favorite band of both Hector and I. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think maybe, how long have you been playing with Sandman Sleep?
I'm losing track. I think it's been 2 years,
maybe a year and a half.
maybe a year and a half.
So I must have seen you playing with then.
No,
Did you?
because we booked them for
Double Roads.
Double Roads, and they didn't have a drummer at that point. They were doing the
Right,
whole,
so
the
we
whole
put
foot pedal
just
thing.
before,
It must have been just after that.
just before.
So they didn't have a drummer for a little while, and we're looking for one to use that to like play shows still. And I think they used a couple fill-ins. Then
Okay.
Sage from Kissimmee Vintage, you know him?
Yeah.
Can't think of his last name right now. Sorry, Sage. I know you got a big hog on you though, brother. I don't know why I said that. Sorry.
I'm just making feel cool.
He reached out to me and was like, "Hey, this band is really cool. I know you play with Lindsay if you're looking, to fill in for whatever." So I reached out to them. They reached out to me like to do a small tour, and I was like, "Oh, I can't do it. Actually, sorry." And then they reached out again, or I reached out again. I can't remember, dude. I honestly don't know. I probably reached out to them and was like, "Hey, you still need a drummer?" Saw they posted. Then we had like one practice up there in Stewart where they live. And either I'll go up there or they'll come down here when we practice. It was just really good at the start, and I really like Christina's music and what they're doing. So it was like an easy gel. We all get along really well. And then we just recorded, or they're still recording a bunch of stuff. I finished mostly my drums, I hope. If everything goes well, don't gotta fix anything for like, I don't know if anything's a secret that they're saying, but I was...
announcing a new
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know there's a new album coming.
Yeah. So it's like 10 tracks.
Even Hector knows.
Yeah.
It's 10
But
tracks.
I don't know anything.
But I'm pretty much fully recorded with my drums right now.
Okay.
Shit sounding pretty good, and it's all new music, so it's gonna be pretty different than their last album. I think their last album was a little bit more rock and roll, and this one's gonna be a little bit like, I don't know, like
kind of.
Yeah, like a little Latin, a little like Spankin' Zach's Red Tush until it's fucking bright red.
The best part of this part of the podcast is that the people from Sam Ass Sleeps,
They're gonna
be listening to this going, he thinks his drums are done? Does he fucking listen? Has he listened to that?
I might have to do some more. And I think I need to Mongolian squeal over a lot of it too. So.
Yeah. What kind of what's your vibe with drumming? What kind of a kit do you have? What kind of a drummer?
I use a shitty. It's an okay kit. It's an 805 PDP, but it's not like, a bang bro. I'm gonna try to get. My dad has Vista lights in Buffalo that he's like, you can have, but you got to get them here. And I'm like, when am I gonna fucking drive a car to Buffalo to
We're making the pilgrimage.
But I've been using a PDP for a while.
No, doesn't matter. Carry on.
Sorry.
I was saying something so stupid. Please carry on.
You know a guy in Buffalo?
He's called Jackie Ruffalo. He's a gigolo. Doesn't matter.
But I use a PDP kit, just like a snare, tom. I've been using one cymbal and a hi-hat, mainly because I'm lazy, and I'm like, if there's less things for me to hit, then there's less chance I fuck up and try and do something stupid. Yeah. So I'll do a fill. Like, I don't practice enough, and I'll do a fill that I haven't practiced. And if I'm feeling it live, it'll work. But like, I've had cases when we're just practicing and I'll go to do a fill and like drop my sticks. Both of them. My pants fall down. My little
I like that theory. So if I take 3 strings off my bass,
I'm
golden.
Yeah.
You can only make mistakes on one string.
Right.
Can't mess up.
The cool thing about working in a place like this is that there's drum kits set up. So I play a lot more drums than I would do otherwise, just because they're here, and sometimes I'm required to, so I'll be teaching someone it, or be doing band stuff, and so I play quite a lot of drums these days, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of. Shani plays the drum.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is that we typically have the kit set up in our kitchen.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Because I am a cool
It's
wife.
not what I thought you were going to say. The kitchen.
And yes,
Pretty cool though.
And we keep a full drum kit set up in our kitchen.
Cool.
Almost all the time, because band practice is typically every Tuesday.
And because the bedroom is the studio, so you can't,
The bedroom, the studio. Yeah, there's only so many places we can monetize.
You should see what I do on the couch.
That's when she's.
That's where we prefer.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm really like dancing around the elephant in the room, which is that you have like film cameras set up in your bedroom.
Yes.
For sure, there's a tape that's going to surface at some point.
When people come over and they don't know, like we had a guy fixing our AC, and then after he left, we were, oh no, we didn't have the thing set up, or did we? We had one of them.
I thought we did. So like oftentimes, like, so it truly is our master bedroom. That's like where we sleep. That's the bed we sleep in. So like when people get there, it's like our bed faces like outwards and you've got two huge
To our front yard.
lights. Like, and you've got like this camera down the center of the
So
bed.
great.
It literally, we always joke, it's like podcast or porno. Like,
Yeah, for
what's
real.
going on here?
Why choose?
And, yeah, and we do like sippy cups, and everybody crawls in. The guest sits in between us,
That's a good idea.
so
That's
that they
amazing.
can't get away.
Some guests get really uncomfortable. Some love it and are like happy to be there. Then some you can tell are just like, oh shit, what did I get into? And who is this
That
guy?
happens.
So who do you usually get? What kind of guests do you have? Musicians mostly, or
We've had a variety. We've had a couple.
It's been
musicians.
comedy heavy, at least at the start, but we're trying to integrate more people into there. I want to get a homeless guy at one point.
there you go.
We
Give them a brief respite from.
Yeah, I want to see what he has to say.
musician wise, we've had like Zai from Rainbow and Violet Silhouette. We've had
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Stephen Dewsnap from Dreamboat.
Right.
We've had Christina.
Cool.
We've had Jordan Richards
Gotcha.
from Everything, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he plays in a lot of bands.
So yeah, we've had a couple of musicians. We had one of our plant friends a while
Nice.
back.
Yeah, that was a bit different.
Joey's college roommate one time.
Yeah, we got pretty sauced up.
We never even clipped a single thing from that episode.
It was
one
too,
of the most unhinged.
it was too raunchy.
Gotcha.
we were
Yeah.
boozed. Did well though. It was a
You know,
good
it's
episode.
funny, like being really, really drunk. Every now and you'll think it's amazing at the time, but it often isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look back,
Your people know a lot about this.
yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true.
That's the sport.
I was trained very well in the art of getting wasted,
Yeah.
to the point where when I moved to America, everyone was like, "You're an alcoholic," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I am," and I stopped drinking.
And that's good.
So how do you, when it comes to like promoting the show and getting sort of more viewers and getting yourself out there and becoming visible, do you have any kind of strategy for that?
That's something like I don't think we can quite figure out is like the algorithm. Sometimes
think
things hit, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
And we don't really know why. Sometimes we're like, we think something is like the funniest thing and we're like, this is so great. Like it's gonna pop.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it like kind of like flops, and then something that we don't feel as like passionate about like does well, and we're like, this makes no sense kind
It
of
happens
deal.
to us all the time. I remember when it first happened with this podcast, and just the weirdest episodes would just balloon up,
Yeah,
and then what's something that I spent hours and hours and hours editing, and it's just like nothing.
Yeah, we had episodes that were like, okay. Like they were nothing special. They were a standard episode, and there's 35,000 views on it.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
And then we've had episodes where I'm like, oh, this person's awesome. They're amazing. They're super talented. This is gonna be great. And we've had
Or like one with someone who's kind of famous on it.
yeah, and it'd be like 280 views.
Yeah, we had similar things to that.
Something like that happened to us recently. Like we had, like if you're at all familiar with like Kill Tony, we had one of the regulars like on our most recent episode, and he's like pretty notable in stand-up comedy, and that's like, and we didn't get that many views on the episode. We were like, what? Like it's so weird because we had like some guy who's like local that did bad on Kill Tony, and his episode like shot through the roof. So it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it.
There isn't.
There must be
so-
something, but I don't know what it is.
I think it's what I say right away in the podcast. Like I'll just, start hammering, about like
Gaping.
silly little gapes and like smelly little gapes.
hammering those games.
He's progressively
This is
he's
far enough in the podcast now that I think
Yeah.
we're in the clear.
Get the
Hey,
gape.
YouTube.
he's progressively thinking you're gayer throughout this podcast.
Oh.
Now it's turning into
100%.
he's like, wait, you
The
allow
more people
other
think
men-
the gayer I'm perceived as, the gayer I am.
Well,
There you go.
well, in the infamous words of our banjo player James, it's only gay if balls touch.
balls touch.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It's definitely
I like
not
it.
true.
And
I
penis
It's
is
definitely not true, but it's
You
it's
tie
good
off
words to
the
live
leg.
by, right?
When I think about balls touching, it makes me think of like those like
Benoit.
Yeah. Oh, the things that swing. That
they're not supposed. No.
Those aren't Benoit.
Ouchies. Probably hurts.
Yeah.
That would hurt if we did that. Yeah.
You know-
Balls.
Oh, there you go. You know what it is? It's not only gay balls touch, but it is definitely gay.
It's definitely, yeah.
I would say
That way around.
I would say
I
it's
don't think
definitely
that's
the
I don't
legal
think that's the defining measure.
No.
Is gay even a thing?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Not
could there
anymore.
just be all like
Just
you
like a
just
slide-
either want a wiener on your balls or do you don't?
Exactly.
I guess maybe they put the wiener on the balls sometimes.
Just rested on.
I don't know. I don't even.
Let's go
What
for
are
our
other
resident
episodes?
gay.
Yeah. Do you guys do this with other guests?
Not this specific.
Have you guys ever talked about balls this in depth?
No,
I think we have.
first. So maybe before we start dig ourselves into
Yeah.
too big of a hole,
Yeah.
Listen to some music.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
You ready? I want to make
sure Get the- into
the guitar's not blocking your face.
No, I'm good. Do I need to do any
stay with
vocals?
the
What am I
front.
doing? Am I just listening?
You just listen.
You enjoy. This is for you.
All right.
This is for your enjoyment.
John Sorrell can't read for shit. He's a country boy with a fertile dick. Got a lot of kids with a lot of baby mamas. I think 6 kids with 3 baby mamas. John looks like he'd shoot a frog. Little baby baby ain't going home. Pumping, 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 pumping out the baby. And touching, hugging, kissing, loving all the ladies. John Sorrell makes my peepee swell. He's a pony boy. It's time to say farewell.
Thank you, John.
Unbelievable.
Good. 1, 2, 3.
Sweet Martin, golden ticket winner, making pennies drop. He's Uncle Tony, can I get on time? He used to get roasted, left on red, now he's got Trump supporters in his bed. Russell's might quit, but the DMs don't. Even his nurses won't tell him no. He's got MD, but no ED, still clapping. She's in conversation, feeling sweet. Marty Phillips. Marty, fill me up. 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 Marty, fill me
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, he's scared of the cat. He was like, wow, I gotta get out of here.
They don't like when Shannon makes those noises.
They don't like it. They know it's time to leave.
I got really intense fast. I was like,
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, thanks
We'll
for coming
see
on.
ya.
Follow all of us. Follow Martin at Martin Phillips Comedy. Follow Joey at Joey_Y_Mason.
Oh,
Follow
this is
me.
Joey.
Shannon Says Shit. Follow Thread Count Podcast. We'll talk again next time.
third count.
See ya.
Oasis Route Carver Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indian Town Road, and it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of carver bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So
thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Route. Welcome to 561 Music. We have some very exciting news. You may have noticed that the podcast is being hosted from a different place. That place is the 561 Music School and Studio. Justin Hucker has changed the name of his school from Live Music Community to 561 Music School and Studio. We have joined forces and now everything has the same name. The podcast, the festival and the school are now all under the umbrella of 561 Music. If you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, you will know that every week in this spot, we used to do an ad for Live Music Community. Now, Live Music Community has become 561 Music. We are still on North Lake Boulevard, but we have moved to 524 North Lake Boulevard, Suite A, North Palm Beach, Florida. It is east from the old location, and boy oh boy is it an upgrade. We now have a studio that is far bigger and more advanced. Bigger lesson rooms and 3 big spaces for recording bands and practicing. We now offer more opportunities for recording your band and provide more practice space to hone your skills. The heart of 561 Music School and Studio is still tuition. We train both young people and adults one-on-one and also in groups to be real bands, teaching you how to play your instrument not only by yourself but with others as well. We help you learn to write and record a song, how to brand and market your band, how to design and produce merchandise, how to get shows, how to act at shows, how to perform, how to organize tours, how to reach out to labels, the ins and outs of protecting your intellectual property, and much more. 561 Music is a one-stop shop for all your music and performance-related needs. We are also set up to help you record music videos, how to manage social media, how to create content for social media, and everything that is required of a person trying to break into the music industry in 2025. Come by the studio at 524 North Lake Boulevard in North Palm Beach and check out the new digs. We are online at 561musicstudio.com. Fill out the form online and come for your free first trial lesson. We are open daily by appointment or just walk up and say hi. We're here most days of the week from 3 p.m. for walk-in inquiries.
Do you have any advice for people going into, I would say, the music industry to you guys, but entertainment in general, because you know you do all sorts of different things. Any advice for people looking to kind of branch out and do something creative in their lives?
I guess just do it. I think that that's the number one thing is yeah, there we are. This is sponsored by Nike.
Oh yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, if you don't try it, then you never will. And then you're just going to regret not doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I told my wife about threesomes. You just try it. You won't know if you're not going to.
Shit,
sorry,
dude.
we're not there yet. Okay.
You're going right to the dog.
Sorry,
house,
back to the
I would say don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard not to, but that's the truth. You just gotta have just courage. I guess.
I'd say push it and don't be scared. Don't be scared, boys and girls.
That's a true story though. The don't give a fuck. He tells me all the time. Just do it and don't give a fuck.
And that's hypocritical because I give a fuck too.
That's what I'm saying. He tells me all the time.
Music,
but I'm constantly perfect example is. We do these singer-songwriter things on the first Sunday of every month.
Yeah.
And we invite people and we invite them in to come and do these singer-songwriter things.
Nice micro
and
plug.
I keep saying that I want to do it. So then he keeps how about this? How about this month? No. How about next month? No. Well, how about the month after that? Probably not.
I've got him pinned down now. I got him pinned down.
Pinned down in September.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
So if you're watching this podcast in September, I am going to gracefully bow out and be sick and have COVID or something. I don't know. Something will come up.
No, you're doing it. And it's going to be the busiest one we've ever had. Probably. You're going to be absolutely terrified. No, you'll have a
We should do the December one because that'll be my birthday weekend.
That's true. It's too far away.
Then you'll be drinking too much. Then you'll have the excuse you're drinking too much. You're enjoying your birthday. You're just delaying it more.
I'm saying.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
We should do it December of next year because then it's a big birthday. And then
what I think is that September's fine. And we should stick to that. You're going to be good, man. Don't worry about it. Just, have fun with it. Like I said,
now I have to write 8 songs.
What are we talking about?
So we do this to singer-songwriter night.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just said that. I'm sorry.
The first Sunday of every month.
And you have to perform a whole set? Or?
So the way it's set up is we have four solo artists or four four musicians on the stage, acoustic guitar, etc. And we do these rounds, 2 songs, 2 songs, 2 songs, 2 songs, all original stuff. And then it's almost like the old VH1 storytellers. They talk about the background of the song, how they came up with it, the story behind it, basically. It's really wild. It's really fun. And everybody, the entire audience is very attentive to it because they're all there for that, So it's not like your background music when you're out playing a gig somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's really fun and really awesome. Well, as soon as we did like 1 or 2 of them, I was like, man, this is really cool. I really want to get up there. I'm a bass player. I don't have music. Like I have music, but it's like I have like shitty music, and it's shitty music from like the 80s or something. And so I
a lot of people like shitty music.
I started writing some stuff a little bit here and there. And so I keep threatening that like, maybe one day I'll have 8 songs because that's about how many you're going to end up needing by the end of the night. Maybe someday I'll have 8 songs and I'll be able to get up there. And then we keep joking around about it. But I think it was like today or yesterday, he pinned me down to the September gig. And he's like, no, you're going to do it. You're on the list. You're going to do it. I'm like,
nice.
God damn it.
Well, you got to do it. Yeah.
I'm going to, I'll hold your hand through it. We're going to get recording. Hopefully we'll do some Friday morning.
We'll see.
But
I feel like every artist thinks their work's not complete, and so you just gotta it is never complete. Realistically,
it never is.
It all could change.
I take my shit down, dude. I've had so much stuff out over the years that I've taken it down and like remastered it.
Well,
and stuff like
it's just crazy. Like with the comedy, for example, you were saying earlier how it's regardless of how many people are doing a collective show that night. Ultimately, it's just you in the audience. You're just up there in the audience, and as many shows as I've played, and I've played a shit ton of shows with a shit ton of bands, whether I've played bass or recently I started playing baritone saxophone in a band with Ben.
Oh, really?
Cool. Regardless of what it is I'm playing with other people. And I think the worst that I've ever done as far as like a one-on, the closest I've ever come to a one-on-one is like a duo or something.
Yeah.
So even then there's still something to hide behind. The idea of me being out there, the idea of me being out there with just me and an acoustic guitar and my voice, and that's it. And if people don't like it, there's no deflecting it. There's no anything. It's just me. Same thing with the comedy. Like if a joke lands flat, it's on nobody. It's on you.
Comedy's like the final step because there's no guitar either. It's just
Like, I mean, there are some comedians that use a guitar, but sometimes people think that's like, that's like you're a crutch to a degree. Some people think.
Sure.
I mean, I think some of the like comedians that do like musical comedy, I think musical comedy is like super funny personally.
I know why they would say that though, and it makes sense. It's like
it fills that dead air.
Yeah.
That like somebody else that like does traditional stand up is like sitting up there and being like, and like you're sitting in that pause, and that's kind of like part of it.
Yeah.
To a degree too, is that like you kind of want there to be like moments of silence during your comedy set because you want people. That means people are listening.
Yeah.
Right.
I have nothing but respect for people doing that kind of entertainment because that whole one-on-one that scares the absolute living shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does. It just does. I'll get up on a stage 1,000 times. I'll get up on a stage 5 days, 5 times a day, 7 days a week for the rest of my life and not care as long as I'm with a band.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
I say
your
the same
thing,
things that I like, especially when I play drums in a band, and that's my first instrument that I learned. So I'm like trained in that in a way where I'm comfortable. Yeah, like I don't stress about my shows. I'm like, it's going to be good. When I play guitar now, though, and have to sing, especially if it's just guitar, it's fine. But guitar and singing for me, it's like I just had to do that with me and acoustic opening up for Sandman at Revelry a couple weeks back, and I just didn't even practice. I was like, they were like, hey, do you want to do this? You want to play, open up and play some songs? I was like, oh yeah, great.
We got to get you on the singer-songwriting night.
Yeah, it's my voice is right now would be
Are you? Do you feel like you're terrible at it?
Yeah.
Let's get him on the September.
This is what I sound like.
I don't want to be the lowest, denominator there.
It's different. My influences are like David Byrne and Paul Simon. So
electronic.
I like really goofy and unique sounding voices. So it's kind of molded me to sound like that.
That's cool though.
Grew up like being in screamo bands and bands like From First to Last I was really into, and
cool.
That whole thing.
Flaming Lips,
Yeah.
Then I calmed down.
Well, you got you got great like influences. So I'd love to see it. Is there anything out there?
Oh
you just
yeah.
don't-
So my solo project now is called Parchment Propeller.
Right.
And that's just some old stuff, some new stuff that I've done. It used to be Joey Mason. I used to go by. At one point, it was Joe Mason. Whole bunch of stuff. Oh,
Cool.
an alias that I won't say on the show, but you'll have to
Secret
find
alias.
it. Secret alias.
That's cool. So, yeah, I'm going to start bugging you about coming to do our night. Obviously, up to you whether you do it or not. But
Oh yeah, I would do it anytime, man.
yeah,
Gape out the homies, boy.
wicked. That's cool. And when you make the songs for the show, you guys, do you have you done anything non-comedy related together, like music wise?
Not really. We haven't done any like.
In college, I made some. Oh, I shouldn't.
Those
talk
were
about
funny
it.
though.
Yeah, we made
too,
funny
yeah.
music in college, and I had her like sing and say crazy stuff on those, but it was comedy.
cool.
I feel like I have a hard time like letting loose with like music like that, being like serious with music. So like the only music stuff I've done with Joey has typically been on like funny things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like I had an idea of like how funny would it be if someone sneezed while they were like going down on someone. So we wrote this whole thing of like sneezing my puss, sneezing my puss, like whatever, like so sometimes it's just like stupid stuff usually that we've done together.
Yeah.
I've never like done any like
The
singing
stuff
or
that makes it
anything.
now,
Real
dude, is
stuff.
so ridiculous. I'll see a song, it's just like what, like the Helly song. What the Helly?
What the hell?
It's huge.
What the
dude.
hell?
That was just some dude saying some dumb shit, and
Yeah.
some guy being like, "Yo, let's record."
That's the thing. I mean, that's what sparked this podcast in the first place
Yeah.
to a degree. I mean, there was some other elements and things, but it was just the fact that there's so much talent down here in South Florida,
Mhm.
really good, like Sandman Sleeps, just really amazing bands and solo artists, etc., that are just ridiculously good and are not on a radio somewhere. And then you turn on the radio and you go, what the fuck am I listening to right now?
Yeah.
You know? And it's not to say there's no good international or national, artists out there,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of garbage out there too. And
Yeah.
just taking up space.
And we're all just walking around surrounded by people who make really, really good music, So it's nice to figure out a way to get it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool that you guys do this.
I've been
Rock
enjoying
hard
it.
right now.
I feel like with music too, it's like there's so many talented people that you'll never hear of.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk about like people that came out of like our high school and stuff that I thought like are some of the most magnificent singers, but it's like you don't know their name. Like how do you not know these names? Like, and then like some of the people that make it, it's like they have other aspects of talent that help to elevate them, right?
Yeah.
Like they have like a star power of some sort, or they have like the work ethic needed to push themselves or their content or their music
uncle's
or
Bryan
whatever.
Cranston.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
sure,
they're
like that.
or they have or they
it's who you know.
a nepo.
Yeah, it's who you know in a lot.
Bryan Cranston's aunt is my wife.
Really?
No.
I'm Bryan Cranston's aunt.
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm Bryan Cranston's
It
aunt.
could be, like that. I am my own grandpa type thing.
Oh my God.
So, dude, I forgot.
We are falling apart here.
Gabe.
I was gonna say something about something.
Yeah.
Oh well, listen. I'm just glad that we got some people who do comedy on the show, because it's been something that I listen to all these different podcasts, and it's always like comedians talking about comedy, and that's what I pretty much do for fun.
Mhm.
And every time I think of a podcast and what I want it to sound like, it's usually one of these ones that a comedian does or something like that. And now we're doing it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
I'm
awesome.
gonna have some more comics on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Well,
definitely.
I had a bit that I wanted to try, a new
All right.
bit I wanted to try. I'm not sure if this is the right
It's perfect.
the right guess, but
Let's see.
when you guys
what's wrong
write
about
when
us?
you guys write music, do you put lyrics like in your phone? Like, are you walking around if something pops into your head, do you like put lyrics in your phone and stuff like that?
It's a process. So basically, I like to write songs with the like rhythm and melody and like format the song.
Sure.
And Shannon likes to write off of the lyrics and rhyme scheme. So
Okay.
Right,
we,
yeah.
we
it's
reverse.
because I'm a drummer. Every time I've made a song growing up, like when my dad helped me build a studio being young, I would record drums first and just like play whatever kind of drums I wanted, but in a format of a song in some
Yeah.
way with time changes,
Okay.
and then just make up the rest with bass and guitar, and I wasn't that great at it, but I'd figure it out. But then that like evolved through college, because in college I'd have to make songs, and instead of recording other people's songs, they'd be like, make a song about this or write a song about this, like do a parody or write a jingle or a commercial. So I'd just make dick music, and I'd be like, smelly dicks and butts.
So do you guys have lyrics in your phones right now?
Yeah. I'd say like
This is a good news
what
question.
what I usually do is like when we're gonna have a guest on, I kind of come up with like ideas. Like,
All right.
Yeah.
oh, I know, like if it's a comedian
Mhm.
and I know some of their like big bits, I
Okay.
guess, like I'm like, oh, all right, I'm gonna include something about this.
Right, yeah.
Or if I have
Or
like
if they have
an
loads of kids,
idea-
buy loads of different baby ones.
Yeah, it's like I just come up with all these ideas, or I'm like, what rhymes, whatever, and I kind of write those out, and then we kind of sit together. Maybe I'll have like a line in mind, maybe he will. We try to kind of merge those together, and then I'll always be like, and then let's try and totally switch the beat.
You'll
right
be like,
here.
I'm not feeling
There's
this
that one
song.
line
You'll
you
be like,
try
the
to
melody.
cram into every song, and you're like, it's gonna work one day.
Yeah. I'm like, no, listen, I have this great idea for a rap. Get me a beat. Make it right now.
All right.
And I don't understand the realistics of that.
So we're gonna call this bit random lyrics.
Randomly.
You're gonna pull out your phones right now, and you're just gonna randomly pick something that you've written, and you're just gonna read a couple of lines of it. I just want to hear something from your
Is this for
this-
the podcast or like
We are on the
lyrics or like random funny?
just random lyrics.
For me, is it okay if
Trying to update
it's
my
not
phone.
lyrics and it's something a comedy?
That would
Yeah.
be perfectly
Odd
fine.
thing.
That'd be perfectly fine. It's
perfect.
got to be random. You can't look for the perfect line. Just pick something random.
Oh, just random.
This is a good question. I love this. This is good
Oh my
thinking.
trying to
god!
think of like where
I gotta
could
give
do
Jake
lyrics.
I
Jenny,
found
you
a
probably
perfect.
Credit on this.
Yeah, I found a perfect song that I wrote the other day in my kitchen. I wonder if I can tell when I wrote.
Did you write it on the drum kit?
This was 6
On the kitchen-
June
on the kitchen set?
2025. No, I wrote it. Well, I wrote it in my head.
Okay.
It's probably I think it was a take on the Beatles song, but
All right.
there's a hole in my house where the dick fits in. Not a dog or a cat. Oh boy, that's a sin. It belonged to my wife that I love very much. There's a hole in my house that your dad can't touch. That all my putty, that over here putty, hole in my house putty. It ain't my cat.
This is my new favorite segment.
Yeah. totally.
Damn, that's a pretty good song.
That's fire, dude.
I don't really have songs because all of our songs are usually written about people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wrote this down recently. I think this is interesting. I wrote, my feet are like Arches National Park. And I like the idea of calling my feet Arches National Park. And so that's what I've got here.
That's wonderful. Well, that's the best. We haven't come up with anything new and fun to do on the podcast in ages, and that
Well,
was a good
I
idea.
got to give the credit to Jacob Tacos. He sent me a message the other day and said that I think it was a video he sent me where somebody was asking somebody else about lyrics or something, and they were like, "Oh, here, I got something on my phone," and then he's like, "You guys need to have random lyrics."
Yeah.
And then I hate to date myself because which I already did with my kids, but my kids used to watch iCarly.
Yeah.
And on Nickelodeon, and iCarly had a segment on the iCarly show, the podcast show portion that she did, called "Random Dancing," and that just made me think of random lyrics.
There you go.
So
That's
that
cool.
was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make like a little thing that comes up. I know it can be the same. So check it out. This is going to be our little jingly thing for random lyrics.
That's
All right,
crazy.
cool.
You just timed that so well.
I know,
right,
right?
when it was going to come up.
Magic.
It's a talent.
Magic.
So, how much do you, when it comes to comedy, because we always ask people who are musicians this, but I'm curious with how much do you practice?
So I guess it's like some people do things different. Like I don't really I never like practice like in front of a mirror.
Like
some
just
people
read the
some
whole
people
thing.
do that. Some people like will practice in a mirror or will practice like sitting in their car or whatever. I'll listen back to like tapes of me doing comedy or watch tapes of me doing comedy sometimes.
Yeah.
But like practice wise, I like go out to like open mics probably.
Right,
Do at least 3 to 4 open mics per week.
Nice.
And then I do maybe a couple shows as well. And so it
So
kind of
just having the
varies.
pressure there and the actual sort of reality of doing it in front of people is how you prefer to do it.
I like, for me, that's like the only way I really feel like I can. Sometimes like I have like an idea, like I'll have like something like that written down, like
Yeah.
I'll have like one line,
Right.
and I'll go to like an open mic, and I'll look at that one line, and I'll just try and like kind of riff on that
Oh,
in
there
the
you go.
moment, and I'll be like, all right, like I had one that was like hotel pillows. That's all it said in my notes. Hotel pillows, and then I was like, hotel pillows are weird. Like, why do we still use them? What are like what's on them? What like, and I just started going into like fluids, what are you using them as a lift? We all know what we're using them for. And then it's like, when are they washing them? And
Yeah.
just like I just kind of just ranted for like a minute or whatever. So
I need to
sometimes it's
do
just
this
like
with.
things like that.
I have for some reason I'm obsessed with the concept of dogs laying eggs and like a dog egg.
Yeah.
And so I just got to figure out.
Well,
some
that'd
way
be
to make
really
that funny.
cute.
I don't know what.
Oh,
Dog periods.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
they'd
Dog
be.
periods.
Would you eat them though, like sunny side up?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean-
That would be gross.
I mean,
A
it depends on how
egg's gonna
delicious
be
they are.
nasty.
Oh,
Like
Small.
a dog egg is like dog milk a little bit. You know what I mean? Just sounds very bad. Anyway.
oh.
I don't know. I don't think there was ever a time in my whole life up to now where I've been able to vocalize my confusion and interest in the concept of dogs laying eggs until right now.
We're really opening up. If you didn't know, dogs technically they lay an egg when they have a period, when they shed a period, right?
I suppose.
Do mammals lay eggs?
Technically, we have eggs. We have eggs, but they're inside of
we
our
do have
body.
eggs,
We
but they're
don't
soft.
lay eggs.
All right, scientists.
Soft boiled.
I am actually. Yes, I'm a biologist,
Really?
but yeah, I'm a
Rectal
marine biologist.
biologist.
Fantastic.
So
My wife's a biologist.
yeah, so like when it comes to laying eggs, there's only one mammal that we know that lays eggs, right?
What is it?
The platypus,
That's right. Right.
Platypus does lay eggs.
right out of her
Yo, what
platypus.
that? What a
Right out of
platypus for me? For this guy over here, what a platypus.
So what do you guys got coming up? What's the next thing? We talked
She
about
had
it.
300 comedy shows
Yeah.
coming
So
up.
let's hear them again.
Yeah, so we're hoping to kind of get some episodes in the bank, kind of get things back up and running. It kind of fell from underneath. We're a 2-man team. It's the two of us.
How often is the podcast? Is it weekly, monthly?
We were at first we were doing it like weekly, and then it was like this is so much to do.
It is quite a lot
Where
to
we
do.
were doing weekly, and then we were skipping like holiday weeks. Where we were like, no one's.
You
gonna
know
listen
why it's a
this
lot
week.
for you guys too is because you have to write a song.
That's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
We
So-
do it day of, morning of. I'll have to
Sometimes, yeah.
I'll try to like get out of work early, and then all of a sudden I'm like, trying to write a song with like 2 hours. We've done it with like 2 hours, and it's been an okay song. We
Yeah.
figured it out. From like being in college, and I learned theory in college more
Nice.
so, and learned piano.
Yeah. That's what
So
I did
like
in
I
college.
learned all like the chord progressions. So I just mix it up and try not to repeat anything or repeat a melody. And we're like 40 songs deep right now. And
That- I
if
was
we keep
gonna
going,
say,
it's like I got to keep on figuring stuff
You
out.
do 50 songs a year, and you're trying not to repeat stuff. It feels like
It's
you're going to run out of stuff pretty soon.
Yeah.
We've got like country songs.
We have to get creative.
We've got a
Yeah.
Polynesian song. We've got
What does Polynesian music sound like?
Like Hawaiian.
like Hawaiian,
Oh, cool.
yeah, a little bit, and then
Did you play ukulele for that?
we've done like kind of more of a punky
Sorta,
one
not
where we
really
did like
cool.
mosh pit, wicked shit, like we did the whole
Right.
Doing
thing.
some Boston punk.
So yeah, we've done like some different styles, and we've done that like based on the guest
Yeah.
kind of thing too. So like sometimes it's like easier, other times we just like, all right, let's just do a general lullaby.
When
or
Zai came on, did
rock.
you do like sort of a synthwave type thing?
We did kind of a spooky
Spooky.
A minor to E major spooky thing back and forth. I'm trying to think of
Zai's just a guy with mascara in his eye. Something about
Yeah,
that.
so-
His cum runs dry.
Jeez.
So one
shocked in our
time, so one time Joey and the band were practicing at
It was
the
Rainbows.
house. He was playing with Rainbows on the drums then. and Zai was like had the mic or whatever, and then like got shocked in our house. We had some sort of we live in like Lake Worth in an old house. So like he got like shocked from some grounding issue or whatever.
I wasn't using power strips. I would just plug their amps into different outlets all around my house, like across from each other that weren't on the same circuit. So we were like playing the first song, and his music's super, spaced out. So like it took him a while to sing. So we're like well into the jam, and all of a sudden he stops and he's like, and like acting all weird, and I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, what's going on?" And then he pretty much like needed to sit down and was like, "I was shocked really bad, dude." And then more people have been shocked, so we put some power strips. I do go all from one outlet now, so
there you go.
People are safe now. I don't.
It's happened to me a few times at practices as being zapped. The place I used to practice with my no name ska band, that place was just seemed like the whole thing was live. I get like,
what did you play with them? What do you play with them?
So we broke up about 2 years ago.
Year and a half.
Yeah,
Matt, you guys.
Vegas.
Yeah. The name's familiar.
What do you play?
So,
saxophone and oh no, what do I do in that band? Yeah, sax and sing in that band.
Sax is like one of my
You
favorites.
got a little bit of guitar too in that band.
That's right, sax, sing, and guitar.
Yeah. So we hope to get kind of the podcast back up and running, kind of beef it up. We have like a bunch of like kind of guests like in the works, but it is a lot of work for us to write the songs, and that's kind of been part of the delay.
that's
I've been like dedicating a lot of time to my comedy, and so
we are going to continue to trick the big boys into our bed. They won't even know. They'll be like, "Yeah, this is a big podcast. These are big people. Hey, we want to be here." And then they get in there, and I just fucking.
And then then they get gaped.
Straight up.
And you guys have the show
July 25th. I'm playing Respectables with Sandman and Violet Silhouette, and I'm sure a couple other bang bros that are worthy.
Nice.
And
when's the album come out? No.
As soon as he finishes.
Stay tuned. And then for me, so I'm on Instagram at Shannon Says Shit. I produce a bunch of shows at Captivated Comedy Co., at Riff Roulette for my improvised stuff. But I've got Wednesday, the June 25th, I've got Revelry Spelling Buzz. June 26th, I've got Bodega Riff Roulette. June 27th, I've got Legends Tavern and Plantation. And June 28th, I've got Philomena's. That's also a riff.
Is there somewhere that all of that is in the same place? Like if looking to
Shannon Says Shit.
Oh right.
You can find all of the podcasts, all of the shows I produce, all of that good stuff, all on my Instagram. And then I'm also opening for Chris Kattan in August.
Sick.
So that's going to be a fun one. At Banyan Live.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's
Southern
August
Boulevard.
25th or something. Yeah. Used to be a strip club. Very familiar with the stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever played at a place where people are stripping?
Yeah.
There's
Red Light.
One time.
Have you ever done Red Light?
No, I haven't.
And West Palm. So Red Light is a speakeasy attached to Monroe's.
Okay.
And they do a comedy show there every Sunday.
I was in a cover band. I was in a cover band with this guy. You know him. I won't drop any names on the podcast. I'll tell you after. But I was in a band with this guy, and he was hell bent on trying to get us a gig at a strip club. There was some strip club that had approached us at one point to play live. Instead of having a DJ for 4 hours, they would have a live band. And the girls would strip to the music or whatever.
Oh my God.
And he was hell bent, and there was a couple of guys in the band that just couldn't do it. Their wives was like saying no, whatever. I didn't give a shit, but he was saying, there's a couple of guys in the band can't do it. He was so hell bent on doing it, but in his head, like I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go to a strip club, we're gonna do a little stage or something, we're gonna set up, we're gonna play it. It's gonna be like no other gig except for me naked chicks, like big deal. But for some reason in his head, you would have thought that we were gonna like dress up in tinfoil and grease ourselves up, and we were gonna be the poles or something. The way he was talking about it. It was so crazy.
It's just you guys playing like I love rock.
Right. He was like, we're gonna do this, and the chicks are gonna be all over us. I'm like, but but they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're.
We're not paying them.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
Don't you know they're only on you if you pay them?
Exactly.
It was a little crazy.
That's hilarious. There's this pub in England that we used to play at a long time ago, and it had a back room, and the landlord and landlady, I'm not sure. I think it might have been the landlady who was stripping. She would just like walk around, sort of do this really, really lackluster sort of show.
Was it more
And
like
then afterwards, she'd
burlesque
walk
or-
around with like a mason jar, and people would put pound coins in it. And it was just the most ghetto kind of like crappy strip situation you've ever seen. And she was, she was a bit older, she was like an acquired taste. The whole thing was wild. And then we used to play after that.
On that note,
pretty
a totally unrelated story. I just sent you the picture the other day. I just found out that Dollar Store, or the version of Dollar Store in England, is called Pound Town.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Pound
that-
It's called Pound Town, and I'm a little bit
amazing?
jealous that we don't have a
Take
Pound
me
Town here.
That's
Yeah, I'm a little jealous we don't have a Pound Town here. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
there you go. That's what I can put in
Are
my
things
first standard.
still,
set.
are things
That's the name of
still
this episode, Take Me
like a
Pound Town.
pound?
Yeah.
that's
A
things-
single pound?
like, so
or
many
is it
kids
more than a
love
pound?
Pound.
See, I don't know because I don't live there anymore, but
Take a pound and a quarter.
I guess there's two ways it could have gone. Either the stuff could have got worse, so it could cost a pound, or it costs more than a pound. But
I
guessing-
mean, 2 pounds would be okay.
that's
I'm
true.
just saying.
I have no idea.
You're gonna get a Pound Town.
In fact, I'd forgotten it was called
And
pound.
and
until you
and what
reminded
you
me.
guys don't call sex Pound Town ever. Like that's never
We
been
don't.
a term.
I think maybe now because we watch so much American TV and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's not like
Regular.
wasn't a
thing.
regular thing. No.
When did you come here?
Every day.
2009.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, I came here for good in the spring of 2010.
Dang.
Yeah, been here for a long time.
That's when we abducted him.
Why?
Yeah. I just my wife got a job and in Jupiter, and I was just finished.
Oh, and she's also from.
No, she's American.
Oh, she's.
But she was we just lived in England because
Yeah.
she liked it there.
Yeah.
She just was there for a really long
Healthcare.
time. Oh, there is that. Yeah. There's all sorts of things why it's good, but there's things why it's bad too.
Yeah.
But it's like a 6 to 1. Well, right now, let's
Where
not even go
do
into
you live? Like near
that's probably
London or no?
I was
Nowhere
born
near
in London. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We went last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
we went to see Taylor Swift in Paris.
Oh, wow.
And we
And the
went to
good thing about
London
being a
before.
stand-up comic is you can like you just go somewhere and like try and find an open mic.
I didn't even because like it was like, oh, how many times are you like visiting these cities
Yeah.
that I'm like I wanted to like see the things.
Yeah.
Like
and
we
you
went
would've-
to like
you would have been
see
like
Abbey
obsessed trying to get it
Road
right.
and like we went to see like all these like like all these old houses from the Beatles and
Yeah, we saw where fucking. I was
Yeah.
gonna say something
Yeah, I was
about
waiting
George
to see-
Harrison getting gaped out.
yeah.
Well, I have to say that this has been one of the most fun episodes we've ever had. You guys are hilarious, and
You need to
And I'm
either
not-
name the episode "Take Me to Pound Town"
that's what it's called already.
or something about gaping, because we've said that like
I don't. Yeah, I don't
I gotta
know if
figure out a
YouTube-
way of
YouTube
writing
might
it where-
flag
Yeah,
that.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it's probably.
that's probably a YouTube flagging thing.
I mean,
I don't know.
Pound Town
we tried
too.
to fill
though.
me up, and yeah, I don't know. Let
We
us
with
promote
Jordan
it.
Richards, we called it Feet Fisters, and I got a lot of views. I think solely for the name.
Solely?
that feet.
Literally.
Oh, solely.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I'm gonna look into that. I wonder if there's a website you can go on, write something in, it tells you if YouTube allow it or not. I bet there is. Either way, thank you so much for coming. You guys
Thanks for
are
having
super,
us.
super cool, and you've inspired me to kind of kick myself up the butt to do comedy again because I've
Try
still
it
yet
out.
to do my first
We
gig.
have a surprise. Ben wrote a song just for you guys, about you guys, just the way you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude.
Amazing.
Look on Ben's face. He's like, "Well, shit."
I'm like, it's gonna be something about Pound Town. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's gonna take us to Pound Town, right in the Thread Count
Can't
podcast
wait.
bed.
I can't wait.
see you later. Take it easy.
Thank you guys.
Take it by the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 music! you.